All right.
Okay, we'll call the meeting of the Green Bay Economic Development Authority to order. Roll call, Sikich is now here, Dwayne is excused, Mr. Hilgenberg's excused, Borley. Here. Genrick.
Here.
And Vogel.
Here.
Is here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Borley, is there a second?
Second.
A second by Genrick, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carried. How about the motion to approve the minutes from January 13th, 2015?
So moved.
Moved by Vogel, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Borley, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carried. All business from January 13th, 2015, request by Alderman Dwayne regarding the Tillman Nursery property on University Avenue. I saw the info in the packet.
Yeah, so I basically just explained that we don't think it's necessarily the wisest to move forward with any kind of assessment on the site without having a potential development
Right.
on the site, or else it's kind of a frivolous use of our funds.
Right, I agree, I saw that. Any other questions on that? Okay. We need any action on that? Not
Nope.
really, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I would just take, just for formality, motion
Motion to,
Refer to staff recommendation.
yeah, what did you put in the packet?
Table until there's development available.
Okay, and just say instead of maybe table, just hold. Or not hold, that's another language.
Receive on file, place and receive on file.
Yep,
yeah, I think that's perfect. There's a motion to place and receive on file the request by Alderman Dwayne. Moved. Moved by Genrick, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vogel, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, new business, communication from Alderman Scannell regarding Velp Avenue.
So this is another brownfields thing. We have the brownfields inventory up on the screen in front of you, which shows that over 75% of that corridor is known or potential brownfields. Given that, we think it's important to identify redevelopment sites and catalyst sites to help lead that corridor into revitalization. And we are proposing, therefore, to engage in a study using funds from our brownfields grant and other funds potentially through the city surplus. But that request hasn't been moved yet.
I'm just curious, and I'm familiar with the area, but that whole stretch, I guess, what is the concern, or as far as potential brownfield? Just petroleum, or?
I think it's mostly petroleum because there's a lot of auto-related businesses over there. But
Salvage yards?
I'm not entirely sure, and I could
Okay.
talk to our consultant and get back to you.
Okay, I was just curious.
Based on previous discussion, I make a motion that we direct staff to start with phase 1 of the study.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Genrick. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Communication from Alderman Moore regarding the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
all right. So Alderman Moore put in a request for the city to look at joining the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is their statewide entity. They're out of the city of Milwaukee. They do have an auxiliary office in the city of Green Bay. His view is that staff kind of look at ways to explore. HEC's niche is really in workforce development, reaching out to the Hispanic community, working with manufacturers. That's primarily their strength, and just want to look at ways for us to be able to get involved, both in terms of membership and for the city. You know, we've been looking at other ways to invest our revolving loan fund and some workforce development funds that we have. So I guess the request or staff direction would be to I put a
communication, but I believe it's for staff to start investigating.
for staff and report back in 2 months.
Any other questions, comments? Okay. Let's see, is there a motion to put the communication for Mr. Moore on file and refer to staff?
Felt better? They approved.
Moved. Moved by Vogel, second by Borley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Okay, item 7, discussion and action on land pricing in University Heights.
Yeah, it's springtime, and we usually have some activities that happen around that time. I did actually do a little calling around to find out what other communities were having their pricing at, and it looked like most everybody is keeping theirs about the same. Actually, everyone is keeping it the same. So after my conversation with Acreage, the other thing is Ashwaubenon is not really publishing their price. They're waiting for a large development, and they incentivize their land prices for the development in their business park on Hackland in Maine. So right now, they're not really soliciting that property. They're kind of waiting for a larger development. But east and west, just you can kind of see the properties there, and I kind of left ours up there. I don't think the land prices, in my opinion, are holding any development back. We seem to be aggressively priced. We're right in alignment with all the others. This at least gave you some background of what other municipalities had for their, of course, the prices vary depending on zoning and location. And, you know, there's consideration depending on what the parcel goes for, but I think we're right in alignment and we'd like to do that. That doesn't seem to be as much of the problem in the, we also have the University Heights pricing for the light manufacturing is $48,000 per acre. We've incentivized to reduce the price by $1,000 for every new job offered to low to moderate income level individuals with a cap no lower than $20,000 per acre. So we have it aggressively priced for job creation, which hard to argue with that with economic impacts as far as bringing tax base and employment to the community. And then I just wanted to let you know that we've had 4 inquiries since January. The city-owned parcel, and if you look at your map that's attached, does have some accessibility issues. And so that I wanted to, you know, bring that to your attention, that that seems to be more of our challenge in the pricing. It just doesn't have the road access to that parcel. And a lot of people don't want to be that far down if they want to make a, if they're ready to find a parcel, they don't want to wait for a road to be put in. They usually are eager to get their project off the ground. And
So
that may be a
the old
little
Greyhound
further
bus
out.
station,
What?
by the old Greyhound bus station, is that where?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That
No,
map I'm looking
let me quick,
Nope, we're on the previous item.
it's
this
up on
one.
the board.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, that's,
So-
yep, that's okay.
So, this is I-43, or this is University Heights Business Park. We only have one parcel left in I-43 Business Park. It's the parcel 21-185-2. We've had a couple of people looking at that one. But out in the University Heights Business Park, the city-owned parcel, we have had 3 inquiries since January, but my challenge with trying to sell that parcel was because of accessibility.
Yeah.
And I just thought maybe that
Yeah.
we should make mention of what's going on and what our challenges are as a department. But our motion today, or our discussion and action, was to look at the pricing and make sure that we were competitive with other communities. And our staff recommendation was to keep it the same because I don't feel that that's, keep pricing at current pricing structure. It's up to the committee.
But the parcel is accessible, correct? There's no, it's landlocked?
Well, there is a right of way that comes down of Algoma Road, but there's no physical infrastructure in place right now to get to it.
There's some challenges, like anything else. It has to do with, there's some access points that they can't have so many, there's so many driveways along
Right,
there
on
that
that
they
state
can't put
highway.
another road, so there's
Yeah.
some challenges with just the way it's laid out. We're taking something that was a farm parcel and making it into a development, and not both of the zoning and the DOTs are in alignment. And so we would have to do some work on trying to get the access to this location. Sorry.
Yeah, personally, I would think it'd be tough to sell that right now when there's no access.
development team, we've talked a little bit about there may be some commitments coming up in terms of extending water utility out this way, which may force the question about some other infrastructure improvements. You know, we're also trying to balance, you know, build it and they'll come with,
Exactly.
you know, having client hand, but at least now, and I think, you know, when you said it well, like, we're at least getting some more interest back again at this site. I wouldn't say maybe we had that last year, but now getting some more interest maybe forces us to look a little more
Right,
closely at
and
that.
and I guess my comment is, you know, relative to this and relative to everything going on, how high of a priority is this? I mean, yes, we'd like to sell it.
I have developers that would purchase it if they had access.
Oh, really?
Did we not, maybe a couple of years ago, kind of cross this path with some of the property owners, and then we were gonna work with either the county or the state to get access,
on the from the highway.
because, and to look at their timeframe as development.
I don't know about, I think
I
it
don't know
might be
if we,
this,
you know-
was that the Scott steering committee between?
I mean,
The
I guess that's the
Joint
question I
Commission?
would have now, who can we partner up with, or can we, to maybe work with some infrastructure development?
Well, and I guess if you want to make that part of the, you know, motion as well, you know, directing us to kind of look at getting the partners together in terms of the state and the county,
Yeah.
maybe controlling some of the access issues here of, all right, what's it going to take to, you know, move forward, both temporary to get something in there, and then long-term, you know, what's
Yeah.
our roadmap for infrastructure?
Is this in a TIF?
It says,
It is?
yep.
I mean, call me naive, but if, you know, we can sell something for $100,000 and it takes us $10,000 to get some temporary access,
Right, yeah.
we make 90,000.
Too simple. I mean, is there estimate on the cost of the infrastructure?
No.
I haven't done any research, but I'd be happy to take that as
Well-
part of the motion or something.
Really, but the only agenda item right now is the land pricing here.
That's right.
As far as future investigation to improve access and make it developable, I guess that would be another issue, and I think it's worth discussion, and, you know, I'd like to have
Slate
the
that
EDA to
for-
move forward on
Right.
it and take a look at this.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I can put that on, you know, to slate for either
Next time.
our April.
Yeah, the next
agenda.
meeting, let's talk about it, because, yeah, you
Okay.
know,
Yeah,
Well-
the pricing isn't the issue. It was
Yeah,
the point.
exactly,
Don't
it's
reduce
not-
the price I feel is fair.
right, right.
I think
It's-
that
there's
there's
other issues.
other issues that are to be considered.
I agree.
But nobody's that excited about it that they're gonna come in and say, well, if you get me access, I'll buy it. Or are they?
So
I
I would make
understand that there are
a,
very few parcels that are of this size, as a matter of fact, next to nothing. And so we've had 3 people that are very interested in it, but the accessibility and the timeline of their project does not commit. I mean, they can't purchase it because they don't have the timeline that works.
Not only are they large, they're green fields.
Right.
well, I would make a
We only have one left
motion.
in I-43,
Right.
so, and that's only a little under 3 acres, or right in the 3-acre range, which is not big enough for some of the, even some of the businesses in I-43 want to move, but don't want to move out of Green Bay.
I would make a motion that we maintain the current price structure of our industrial park pricing, in addition to the pricing, ask staff to investigate infrastructure partnerships and costs.
I second that. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carried. All stated, sir. Yeah, I think.
That's moving along great.
Okay.
So the next item, we're gonna.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna go through.
discussion and action on sale of parcels 9-47, 907 Main Street, and 9-45, 913 Main Street.
So if you see on your map, there is some parcels that, this is the old Greyhound station, is to the west on this map. And then the RDA has a parcel on Main Street, and then there's city-owned parcels that are lot, we call it Main Street, so lot MS. lot MS, and then if you see on Cedar Street, it goes to a paved parking way that is next to Simonette's Bar. The parking lot that's on the Simonette's, right next to Simonette's, is leased to Simonette's at this time. It's city-owned, but we're leasing it. But the other parcels, so what's happening right now is we have a couple of people interested in, that are looking at these parcels to figure out, is the city interested in selling these parcels? We did bring it to the RDA yesterday, and they did say that they are interested. They don't care to, they would rather development. And so the thought was to move forward with trying to find best and higher uses of these parcels. One of our questions was, should we put them all together to have a larger development? Should we, what would development look like? And so we were looking to our committees to give us some feedback on their thoughts. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I guess, RDA's direction, again, we're not in the business of holding land long-term, move forward with something and assemble parcels to the maximum possible. We brought it both to RDA and EDA just because city owns some, RDA owns some, and, I think their gist yesterday was put it together as many parcels as possible to try and get the highest and best use out of this area.
We did have one of the interested parties show up at the RDA and explain that they would take as much that was available, that their project was expandable enough to incorporate as much as we were willing to part with. And they're gonna probably be ready to come next month, so you'll be able to see that development with drawings and information. So,
I had somebody approach me, ask me about that.
mhm.
They just wanted it for parking. There was a
This
business
is not
down the road.
parking. What?
There was a business down the road that was looking for more parking.
Oh, this would actually be a development, office and mixed use.
I like that.
I would make a motion that we recommend staff work with RDA and promote this parcel as well as the existing Greyhound parcel piece, whoever owns that, as one development.
Who does own that?
The former operator of the Greyhound still owns that.
Oh, they do.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Vogel. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Looks like a good new
That's an
project.
irregular.
Yeah.
It's only 177 feet wide.
And you have to combine that. It's gonna
Isn't there an antique store in the?
Yeah, in the building that used to be the Works building, there is an antique place in there, and that would be one of the parties we'd also discuss potential projects with, just in terms of other opportunities.
Item 9, Director's Update.
Sure. I guess I don't have anything specific to update. I know we didn't meet last month. The items that were on the January agenda that were approved here, I think through council, it's just fine. So I don't know if there's any, oh, you can say something on that. Pass it off to Wendy.
We have a workshop, an entrepreneur's workshop, next week, a week from today. It's called Shifting Gears. There's going to be 7 franchisors that are interested in moving into the Green Bay market. They're presenting from 3 to 6 at the Automobile Gallery. And we've been putting it out on Facebook and LinkedIn and other resources, but Titletown Brewery is going to have some refreshments there. Check out the Automobile Gallery and meet with franchisors that are interested in doing that. There'll also be some financing opportunities, people to talk to about that. So we thought we were approached from a couple of people in economic development and thought this was an interesting thing to participate in. So next week, 3 to 6, March 16th. And we'll send invites out so you can share them with people that you think might be interested in that venue. But that's one of our things.
Okay.
And then we're in development the week following.
Correct. Conference Town workshop in Appleton brings together, basically puts municipalities in front of the development community, and we're able to kind of show off projects that we've done, but then also do some networking and show off some of the sites that we still have available, redevelopment opportunities. Just a really good opportunity to make some connections there.
On the 24th. March. So we'll be down to Appleton doing that.
Just general question, the University Avenue development, is there any potential brownfields involved in that?
So we
Parcel
will not
for-
be using any of our funds
Okay, that,
for that.
okay, I guess that was my
Yep.
question.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, the applicant has not requested anything
Okay.
from the city
Okay.
on that, so they're taking that all on their own.
Okay. Good. Anything else?
I was just wondering if you could sort of give us an overview of the stadium proposal.
Sure. I'll give you a 2-minute overview, because I promised Donnie we'd be out of here by 5:15.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hold. So the letter of intent that was presented to the redevelopment authority yesterday, in it basically requests that the RDA consent to giving the land for a outdoor event center. And it would ask the city to contribute $4 million towards the project. $4 million from various funds, whether that be stadium tax or TIF money, grant money, bonding. And then the entity, it's a LLC similar to the ownership team that owns Bullfrogs, Big Top Baseball. They would create their own LLC for this. They would bring $1 million upfront and then $4 million over the term, over 20 years, combination of lease payments. They would sign a 20-year lease, naming rights, sponsorships, other agreements there. It would also look at the city being potentially act as the fiscal agent or the bonding agent if it's better for the city to invest those funds. With that, they would ask the city to make some commitments by May 18th. So that's 2 more council meetings of this council, 3 council meetings of whoever's elected April 5th. With that, the timeframe that they would like to, now that kind of they're out there, they have some deadlines or just opportunities in terms of landing a minor league or development league soccer team. And also with the construction window, if they want to get moving forward on some of these projects, they would like to get in the ground. They would aim to be open in 2018. They could also possibly open next year if commitments are made to move forward. We brought this forward because we feel very confident that the private entity at this point has those financial commitments locked up, and now it would be up to the city to come up with their end of the bargain.
And what's the ownership structure of the facility itself?
So the city would own the facility. This would be a city facility. We would sign a lease with the LLC to operate it. So they would take care of the day-to-day operations, managing it, and then programming it. And they feel comfortable right now. They could get about 150 events in there every year.
For 20 years.
Is there any other associated commercial or retail?
So right now, we've had some interest from a commercial entity that if this project goes, part of our city responsibility would be bringing this along, and it's about a $2 million development. That's kind of very short term. Long term, we still have a lot of acreage, 6 acres on the north side of the site. There's a lot of other redevelopment opportunities down there. Once we make a commitment as a city to move forward, I think that shows some confidence. And we've had some interest before, but I think this would really solidify some additional development in that area.
A similar scenario as the city owning Lambeau Field and somewhat.
You see what's happened around there.
Okay, any other questions, discussion?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Wendy.
Wendy?